Gary, you think?
For it to go live?
No, to get fixed up there, whatever it is. No
Trying to
percentage.
connect, I don't know.
Oh, can't get online?
No, it's trying to connect to the internet. Yeah, right now there's a black screen. Okay, so we're live now. Oh,
We can take a 5-minute break.
we're live now. We're not taking a break.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our regular council meeting of April 29th, 2025. Called meeting to order. And can we get the approval of the agenda for the regular council meeting of April 29th, 2025, with the addition of 3 other items, which the CAO will read out?
Sorry. So those 3 items are, it includes some purchase of some marketing items, one. The second one is the award of Powell Drive Phase 3. And the third one is the award of sliding pool doors. And the fourth one is also to complete a tender call for spring ball collection.
So we can get a mover and seconder for that. Moved by Deputy Mayor Slade, seconded by Councillor O'Grady. Discussion? All in favour? Contrary minded, motion passed. And can we get the adoptions of the minutes of the regular council meeting of April 15, 2025? Moved by Councillor Snow, seconded by Councillor Seymour. Discussion? All in favour? Contrary minded, motion passed. And can we get the amended adoption of the minutes of the regular council meeting of June 26, 2024? Moved by Councillor O'Grady, seconded by Councillor Snow. Discussion?
Why are we? Oh, okay. For a minute. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I can explain that.
Go right ahead, yes. It's a year.
That's the only. I remember.
Yes, there was actually a motion we understood we made, and when we checked the minutes, it wasn't there, and it was for the plan amendment. And when we viewed the video, it was actually made. It just got missed from the minutes, so we just amended them to include the motion that was actually made, and just left out an error. And I should add I was a meeting that I took the minutes, so it was my fault, not our town clerk.
Well, it was a calamity of,
Yes.
because it got missed going through the meeting when we listened to it, and then we had to go back and we had to search for it to find it, but it was there on the video.
Yes,
So,
and Councillor Doyle did speak up and said, "Oops, I think I missed the motion," and she did do it, but for some reason it didn't get recorded in the written copy.
All in favour? Contrary minded, motion passed. Business arising from the minutes. Okay, we move on to number 5, proclamations. We have 4 proclamations. I'll read them out and get a mover and a seconder for those. The first one is proclamation for Municipal Awareness Week, May 4th to the 10th, 2025. Whereas municipal government is responsible for the provision of services that enhance the quality of life of its citizens, and whereas dedicated mayors, councillors and staff are essential for the effective government of those municipalities, and whereas collaboration, partnerships and citizen involvement are essential for active, sustainable and vibrant communities, and whereas it is fitting and proper to recognize and encourage the contributions of all who work diligently for the improvement of our municipality. Therefore be it proclaimed that May 4th to the 10th, 2025 be known as Municipal Awareness Week in municipalities in Newfoundland and Labrador, in recognition of the vital role of municipal government and in recognition of all those efforts that support it, and a list of other items there. I hereby declare May 4th to the 10th, 2025 Municipal Awareness Week in the town of Carbonear. Frank Butt, Mayor. Moved by Deputy Mayor Slade, seconded by Councillor Snow. Discussion? All in favour? Contrary minded, motion passed. Our second proclamation is the World Ovarian Cancer Day, May 8th, 2025. Whereas ovarian cancer has no early detection testing And whereas ovarian cancer symptoms are often confused with other less severe illnesses, and whereas ovarian cancer has the lowest survival rate of all female cancers, and whereas as many as 23% of women with ovarian cancer have an inherited genetic mutation, and whereas genetic testing is a way to identify people at high risk before they develop ovarian cancer. Now therefore be resolved that I, Frank Budd, Mayor of the Town of Carbonear, do hereby proclaim May 8, 2025 as World Ovarian Cancer Day. I encourage all citizens of the Town of Carbonear and the province to talk to their health provider about ovarian cancer and seek to learn more about this disease. Moved by Councillor O'Grady, seconded by Councillor Seymour. Discussion? All in favour? Aye. Contrary-minded, motion passed. Our third proclamation is World Maternal Mental Health Day, May 7, 2025. Whereas pregnancy and childbirth or adoption and the infant's first year of life should be a period of joy and bonding for the entire family, and whereas 28% of mothers in Newfoundland and Labrador will experience a significant mood disorder during and after pregnancy, possibly leading to a more severe mental illness, and whereas untreated, these mood disorders may lead to premature labor, admission to the neo-intensive care unit, increased risk of obstetrical complications, lower breastfeeding rates, and poor fetal and infant outcome, and in rare cases, even to suicide. And whereas there are professionals and peers in Newfoundland and Labrador who will assist parents and families deal with mood disorders. And whereas the Parental Mental Health Alliance of Newfoundland and Labrador has been created to improve the care provided at birthing persons and their families. Be it resolved that I, Mayor Frank Budd, proclaim May 7th, 2025, World Maternal Mental Health Day in the Town of Carbonear, Newfoundland and Labrador. And I can get a mover and seconder. Moved by Councillor Dial, seconded by Councillor Snow. Discussion? All in favour? Contrary-minded? Motion passed. And our fourth and final proclamation is Health Failure Awareness Week, May 4th to the 10th, 2025. Whereas Canadian Health Failure Awareness Week is marked across Canada to raise awareness to... Oh, what did I say it was? Health? Oh, okay. That's next month. Heart Failure Awareness Week. My apologies. Whereas Canadian Heart Failure Awareness Week is marked across Canada to raise awareness of the causes of heart failure and the impact it has on individuals living with heart failure and their caregivers. Whereas over 800,000 people 40 years of age or older are living with heart failure in Canada, and over 120,000 people aged 40 and older are diagnosed with heart failure in Canada. Heart failure significantly impacts individuals living with the condition, their families, caregivers, and the healthcare system, affecting over 13,000 people above the age of 40 right here in Newfoundland and Labrador. It imposes a substantial economic burden, with hospitalization being a major cost driver. In Canada, health failure is the third leading cause of hospitalization. Whereas people with heart failure experience debilitating symptoms such as shortness of breath, swelling, and exhaustion, whereas people caring for those with heart failure are often overwhelmed and stressed. Whereas heart failure imposes a significant economic burden on the healthcare system, with one of the main cost drivers being hospitalization, and heart failure is the third largest cause of hospitalization in Canada. Whereas Heart Failure Awareness Week was initiated by the Canadian Heart Failure Society, an organization of health professionals and patients in collaboration with Heart and Stroke Foundation of Canada, Canadian Cardiovascular Society, Canadian Council of Cardiovascular Nurses, Canadian Association of Cardiovascular Prevention and Rehabilitation, Canadian Heart Function Alliance, Heart Life Foundation, and Ted Rogers Centre for Heart Research. Whereas Canadian Heart Failure Awareness Week is now celebrated across Canada as a time dedicated to improving awareness and education of heart failure of people in the province of Newfoundland and all Canadians. Now ye know that we do by this present proclaim and declare that May 4th to the 10th shall be known as Heart Failure Awareness Week. Moved by Councillor O'Grady, seconded by Councillor Snow. Discussion? All in favour? Contrary minded, motion passed. Okay, move on to number 6, permits and correspondence. Councillor Dial.
If everybody wants to take a look at slide number 4 in their Dropbox, I don't think that there's any conflicts there. Make a motion to approve permit listing 10-785 to 10-798.
Moved by Councillor Dial, seconded by Councillor Seymour. Discussion? All in favour? Contrary minded, motion passed. Move on to 6.3, correspondence received and action taken. You can have a look down through there. Okay, move on to number 7, committee reports. We'll go with number A, letter A, Public Works, Waste Management and Community Services. Deputy Mayor Slade.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. In your Dropbox 5, this copy of the Public Works and Waste Management Committee report. You can peruse through that. If you see anything there.
You want to move over your microphone there?
It's not working.
No, that one's not working.
Okay.
Start again.
I'll start again, Mr. Mayor, from the top. Anyway, you can look in the Dropbox, number 5. Council can have a look at it. If there's anything there that you like to have answered or anything, please feel free to ask. And with that, there's some motions that came out of Public Works at the last meeting, and I'm going to bring them forward at this point in time. Whereas a tender call was published and closed for 17-G1-24-00052 Beach Road, soil sizing, and whereas the lowest bidder amounts result in a budget shortfall, be it resolved to apply to Municipal Infrastructure Division of the Department of Transportation Infrastructure for a project amendment to increase the cost shared funding by $243,233.48 for the purpose of completing the original project scope. Be it further resolved that the town of Carbonear agrees to provide its share of cost share funding and acknowledge that the project cost above the approved project total cost will be the sole responsibility of the town of Carbonear. I so move.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Slade, seconded by Councillor O'Grady. Discussion? Is that 240,000 on top of what is the original? Is that out yet, or do we know what?
Yeah, I don't have the budget in front of me. I hate to speak out of turn, but just this is an additional 243,000 on top of what we had originally estimated.
That's a lot, isn't it?
Is a bit, yeah.
And what's the reason for that? Any?
That's where the tenders came in. They were competitive tenders. They were in good order.
So was this a limited tender, or is this like
No, it's public tender call.
public? And so how many people applied? Or
3 bidders.
Okay. All in favour? All in favour?
Aye.
Contrary minded, motion passed.
Resolved to approve the installation and additional lighting to improve the lighting of the stairs at the Conception Bay Regional Community Center by Oliver Controls and Equipment in the amount of $1,790 plus HST, and I so move.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Slade, seconded by Councillor Seymour. Discussion? All in favour? Contrary minded, motion passed.
Resolved to advertise for sale the 2014 Dodge Ram 2500 with a minimum bid of $2,500 and the 2008 Multi-Quip Roller, minimum bid of $200. And I so move.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Slade, seconded by Councillor O'Grady. Discussion? All in favour?
Aye.
Contrary minded, motion passed.
Resolved to contact Rebuilt Pumps and Motor Limited to complete repairs to the Blueberry Crescent lift station at a cost of $6,400 plus HST, and I so move.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Slade, seconded by Councillor Snow. Discussion? All in favour? Contrary minded, motion passed.
And that's it for me, Mr. Mayor.
Any questions or comments for Deputy Mayor Slade?
I do. Under ongoing items, the Mills Trail to the tunnel has been there for a couple of months, deferred for investigation. Has there been any investigating done yet to see what can be done to alleviate the issues there? Because I was in the other day, and Nell's Trail is going to need significant work again this summer. There was a major washout there on the turn, and the bigger rocks are there, so it would be difficult for people with strollers or mobility issues or anything to walk there. And you still cannot make, like, you can't park at the beginning of Nell's Trail and walk from Nell's Trail in as far as Davis Earl Trail unless you got on hip waders to get through the section there at the end where you're going up the hill, because it's just a complete river running down the hill. And I mean, all it needs is a little bit of ditching or a culvert, but like, could we not contact the Department of Transportation, since it is them, and say, like, can we, have a conversation about this being fixed? Because it's not a town thing, it's in the highway reservation.
The trail part itself, I believe that's slated to be looked at in the spring, and any upgrading that needs to be done there is going to be done. There had previously, we can try it again, there had previously been contact with the Department of Transportation, and we were informed that, they wouldn't be doing it. It's basically the road reservation off the, that comes down off the side of the road, the ditching area, and they wouldn't be doing anything with it. Again, we can try again, but that was the response we received at the time. But again, the Nell's Trail there is some work that will be done on that.
And that,
That's spring.
and to me, that response is not really appropriate, because in a climate where we're heavily promoting active living and being outdoors and fitness and all the rest of it, like, to me, it doesn't seem like, I don't know much about engineering or anything, but I mean, it doesn't seem to be a huge fix to put, some culverting or ditching there to alleviate the water issue. And then you've got like a trail system that's connected. I mean, you could go, way inline road then, because there's so many trails in there. It'd just be nice to see that the trails are actually connected and able to be used, because they went through all the work of putting a tunnel at the top so you could access it in there, but you can seem to only access it from the top down, or from coming from, coming out the other way. Yeah. So anyway.
Any further questions or comments?
I think like a little French drain there, I know it's not on our land, and if we could get permission even to put it there, right? Because there's no hole there then to fall in, water's running, it's level. Let's take the water away out. Maybe the director of works can have a look at it again, see what create a solution.
Okay, no problem. We'll go on now to 7B, Administration and Finance. Councillor O'Grady.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The minutes are there in your Dropbox. I just run over a few things. I do have some motions, so I'll do the motions at the end. We have a request from the Princess Shield and Gara Theatre for their annual operating grant, and be a motion for that. The Centre for Rural Health Studies, Fact of Medicine, they want to do a presentation to council. That's the Carbonear Institute for Rural Research and Innovation by the Sea, they're called, is planning a series of information sessions to introduce their research centre to local communities and to gather feedback. So they've requested a brief presentation at an upcoming council meeting in May or June. So the committee recommends providing this group with the meeting date sometime in May and June. Also, we have appointed our bylaw enforcement officer, so I'll have a motion for that. Commissioner, appeals have been received, therefore I guess an assessment review commissioner is required. So I'll have a motion in a moment to hire that person. And our insurance company also reached out to us and said, with the high frequency of cyber attacks on municipalities, they're recommending we get cyber liability insurance. So this coverage is is recommended as these things become more common and can be very costly if they get into your system and lock it down, and so there was 3 options, and we got quotes for review. So that there's a cost for $1 million in coverage is $4,955. So again, that's what the committee is recommending. That's the option to go with. So with that, I'll if you have any questions before I do the motions, otherwise I'll do the motions.
Any questions, comments? Go ahead.
Okay, so draft motion number 1, resolved that the town of Carbonear approve the 2025 budgeted operating funds to be paid to the Princess Sheila Nagara Theatre in the amount of $13,000.
Moved by Councillor O'Grady, seconded by Councillor Dial. Discussion? All in favour? Contrary minded, motion passed.
Motion number 2, resolved to appoint Matthew Burke as the bylaw enforcement officer for the town of Carbonear in accordance with section S.278 of the Towns and Local Service District Act.
Moved by Councillor O'Grady, seconded by Councillor Snow. Discussion? All in favour? Contrary minded, motion passed.
Draft motion number 3, resolved to obtain cyber liability insurance from the town's general liability insurance provider, Cal LeGros, in the amount of $4,955.
Moved by Councillor O'Grady, seconded by Councillor Snow. Discussion? All in favour? Contrary minded, motion passed.
And draft motion number 4, resolved to appoint Mitchell Moran of MJM Property Consultants as the Assessment Review Commissioner for 2025 to hear all property assessment appeals outstanding for the town of Carbonear that have been referred for an assessment review commission.
Moved by Councillor O'Grady, seconded by Deputy Mayor Slade. Discussion? All in favour? Contrary minded, motion passed. Thank you,
And I
sir.
guess that's it for me. We certainly welcome Matthew to our town.
Okay, move on number 7D, or actually C, Economic Development, Planning and Land Use Development. Councillor Dial.
The Development Committee met on Thursday, April 24th. There was a number of development applications there that I'll go through on the end. There's some motions there. Under correspondence, we had correspondence from the Department of Environment and Climate Change, Water Resources and Management, needing municipal approval for some septic test holes, and we recommended the approval of the test holes once we've got approval from their department. There's a registration of our amendment number 41, 2024. Notice of the registration has been forwarded along to the Gazette, and the review of the municipal plan is ongoing. We don't have any dates, correct, CAO, on when we should get it back, but we were hoping that the public hearing would go ahead sometime in May, but that's pending getting all of the things sorted out between the planner and the province. There has been some issues with just hopefully some smaller issues with maps and boundaries and stuff like that that they're still trying to work through. Under economic development, there's 2 sessions. One has already actually occurred, was today, correct? Yes. Yeah. With Chris Patterson and Bojan, am I saying his name right?
Bojan, yeah.
Bojan 1st of Civic Matters. It's a great opportunity for community and business stakeholders in the area, not just Carbonear, to get involved. And there's another one at the multipurpose room at the Danny Cleary Harbor Grace Community Center on May 7th between 5 and 6:30. And if residents, visitors, anybody is looking for information on the session, they can contact Carrie here at the office. And Chris Patterson's information has also been shared several times on social media. Our EDTO will be attending the Down Home Expo from May 2nd to 4th at the Glacier. That's always a great event, and hopefully helps contribute to some economic development in our area. We have a session coming up soon with NL Health Services as a way to connect with the people who are working at our biggest employer in town, which is the hospital and the long-term care. What? Oh, we've been doing some pop-up coffee hours. So there's one coming up on, is that sorted, Carrie?
No, it's on the 7th.
Okay. It's on either May 7th or 8th from 11 to 12 at the cafeteria entrance at Carbonear Hospital. The EDTO reports that they are highly successful. It's a good way for her to interact with newcomers who are coming to the area, and good way for her to network with, people who are in our community on a regular basis. Under new business, there's one thing that I'm in conflict with. Councillor O'Grady will speak to that in a second. All right, resolution number 1. Resolve to approve the following applications in accordance with the applications submitted, the Town of Carbonear Municipal Plan and Development Regulations and other conditions as specified. To place armor stone along the shoreline at 223 Water Street, conditional upon receipt of approval from Service NL and other applicable government departments and agencies. To construct a deck at number 73 Water Street. To clear land for hay production at Fox Farm Road, conditional upon receipt of approval from applicable government departments and agencies. To open a retail store from 192 Water Street, conditional upon the receipt of approval from Service NL and other applicable government departments and agencies. To dig septic test holes at property 5287880.01 North, 279307.62 Line Road, conditional upon receipt of approval from Service NL and other applicable government departments and agencies. And to construct an accessory building at 2 Nickel Place in accordance with Section 10, discretionary powers of council.
Moved by Councillor Doyle, second by Councillor Snow. Discussion? All in favor? Contrary minded, motion passed.
Resolution number 2, resolve to send an order to remove the vinyl siding installed at 149 Water Street without a permit from council and contrary to the policies and regulations and the municipal plan and development regulations for the heritage area.
Moved by Councillor Doyle, seconded by seconder. Councillor O'Grady. Discussion? All in favor? Contrary minded, motion passed.
I guess the other item that you're referring to is the sober living. There was an application for a sober living facility in Industrial Crescent, so we did ask for. There was a discretionary notice sent out, and there were some responses received, so we will be, I guess, reaching out to those people, and we'll be holding we'll meet with those and have some more discussions about their concerns. So they'll get a notification for us, I guess, this week. Okay, that's it for that.
Okay. That it, your report there, That it?
Yep.
That's it?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. All right. Okay, move on number 8. The Director of Recreation, Mr. Budden.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a quick report there to kind of give you guys a update as to what's been going on over the last 3 or 4 weeks. As you can see there, some of our seasonal staff have been called back, and they're in the process of doing some playground inspections and maintenance around the community in preparation for their official season opening, and some other items as required are also being completed. As you can see there, our pool revenue is substantially up this year compared to last year. It's been a couple of reasons, I guess. Our lessons program has kind of increased. We've seen more children come through our lessons, as well as pool visitations to our public swims and stuff, so it's good to see. A lot of our, I guess, aerobics programs and senior programs have really increased, and there's been a lot of usage there, so we're encouraged by what we're seeing. Hope it continues and people continue to get active. As you can see, our next swimming lesson registration is actually this Thursday, May 1st, so we'll be accepting those. I think it starts at 5 o'clock online. The Tricon Special Olympics will be hosting their invitational meet now this Sunday, May 4th, at the swimming pool. Summer camp information has been released, and registration will be open for that as of May 15th. And we still are confirming some other details for some further summer programming, and that more info will be coming soon. We're just waiting on some finer details with regards to confirming a few things so that we can make sure that stuff is available. So once that's available, we will be sending it out, and hopefully more youth can avail of the programming over the summer. Also, our nomination process for Athlete of the Year 2024 is closed, and the evaluation process will begin soon, and the ceremony date will be confirmed. So when we get more information on that, we'll let the public know. So this is a quick little update. If there's any questions, please feel free to shoot away.
Questions or comments?
I'm getting a lot of calls on the slides.
Yeah.
Can we get an update on the slides? I know you were investigating the warranty, but I think there's one broke at Quinn's Playground, and then there's one broke at the pool, and I think there might be one more,
No,
correct?
it's just the two.
Those two?
Just the
Okay.
two, yeah. So I have been in contact with the companies. They're working on getting the details straightened out for me. So as soon as I get more information, we'll get that dealt with right away.
There was one very small child in the community that told her mother that the town needed to call the ambulance because the slide was broken at the pool, which I thought was
Well, if that works, go right ahead.
rather cute. So I'm
All of
assuming
us
I
as a
was the
Band-Aid, be
ambulance.
perfect.
Okay, thank you, sir. We'll move on now to number 9, finances, operating invoices over $2,000.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The invoice list is in your Dropbox. So I resolve to approve operating invoices over $2,000 in the amount of $37,928.65.
Moved by Councilor O'Grady, seconded by Deputy Mayor Slade. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded, motion passed. Okay, so I think our next meeting is May 13th, 2025. Did I get that right this time? Is- What's that? The business, oh, sorry.
There you go.
May 13th.
Mine was there first. Do mine first? This is for various marketing items for distribution during the Down Home Expo and other events, and it is included in the budget. Resolved to purchase various marketing items for the Economic Development and Tourism Department in the amount of $6,166.98.
Moved by Councilor Doyle, seconded by Councilor Snow. Discussion? All in favor? Contrary minded, motion passed. And Councilor Seymour.
This one is about the swimming pool and the doors in there. Resolve to award and supply and installation of interior and exterior sliding doors at the Carbonear swimming pool to Babs Security Systems at a cost of $41,195 plus HST. I don't move.
Moved by Councilor Seymour, seconded by Councilor Snow. Discussion? All in favor? Contrary minded? Motion passed. Yep. Hold on, I'll get your microphone.
Whereas the tender call has closed for Pell Drive Street and storm upgrades Phase 3, and whereas the consultant has determined the lowest bid is in good order and recommends award, be it resolved to award the contract to Concord Paving Limited in the amount of $450,512.50, including HST, and I so move.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Slade, second by Councillor O'Grady. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary-minded? Motion passed.
And there was another proposed motion too, to complete a limited call for bulk spring collection.
Who has that? Is that okay? What you just said, okay?
No, I guess there's need to be a mover and a seconder for that.
We got a motion. Who has the motion for that?
I just said it, if somebody could move it.
Okay, I
That's
so
what I'm saying,
move,
we can use
Mrs.
what you said, yeah.
I so move.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Slade, second by Councillor Snow. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Okay. I believe tomorrow, Wednesday, is the